What's up, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more acid-techno, and indeed, we're back with that remix by D.A.V.E the drummer on the Flatlife Remixes vinyl from 2013. The original is by Zoney. It's called Phat Squid, Phat with a PH. And indeed, it's funny, I was thinking about it when I mentioned it at the end of the remix, or the reaction I did for the DJ Mistra remix of Nelman's Lush, that it was like a techno-only tune, or maybe it had a little bit of acid. I was sort of misremembering it a little bit. Yeah, like it has a little bit more acid than I initially remembered. So I'm going to call it an acid-techno tune, even if there are large stretches of it where the acid is like at best like in a background supporting role. But once we get around halfway or so, the acid, it stands to the fore a little more. So again, I'm going to call it acid techno, even though I had referred to it as like a techno only tune, or like a techno or an acid minimal techno tune. Nevertheless, I just do want to praise Henry Cullen's production skills again, because he can make techno only tunes that really do capture my brain's attention and set it on fire. Shout out to D.B. Cooper. He sort of facilitated me reacting to Winnebago Warriors Trailer Trash, even though I don't have that record. And again, shout out to any like configuration, artist name or track name where they're referencing like phrases from the world of the Dead Kennedys. I love that. So yeah, shout out to Henry and Justine, right? But again, I love his tunes that are like techno oriented, which not a lot of techno producers can do that. Of course, I love his stuff as like Secret Hero and part of Dynamo City and so on. But yeah, so it's a testament to his skill that he can make techno that sets my brain on fire, even if it doesn't have a 303, or a 303 is a minimal element. Again, with this record, I'll mention it as I did in that other reaction. I bought this record primarily for, and I think maybe I had only heard the DJ Mistra remix of Nelman's Lush, because it just had that old school X-Track style, that sort of acid saturated, really ride the like wicked acid groove. Again, it sort of reminded me of like Keep Your Love or something. But when I got the record and I put all the tracks into like digital format, I was really impressed by this D.A.V.E the drummer remix, and it now I consider it as good as that DJ Mistra remix. It's just like a slightly different side of the street. As I mentioned, it is acid techno, and even more than I kind of remembered. I did like a little preview after I had done that last reaction. I was like, oh wait, you know what? Not only is it really good like I did remember, but it's got a little bit more of an acid flavor than I did remember. So yeah, let's get to it. This is Zoney, Phat Squid, the D.A.V.E the drummer remix on the Flatlife Remixes vinyl 2013. Number one, I like that deep, almost like basketball bouncing pulse. I like that, like the backward kind of. Little like tonal shift right before the measure, then the high percussion coming in nice and clean, nice and smooth. Oof. Someone dropped a bookcase like off in the distance somewhere. Dissonant, increasingly sort of metallic layer working its way in subtly. Now someone broke like a steam valve. Again, someone's knocking over bookcases, breaking steam valves. Mr. Bean's in the factory apparently. Demented like dial-up modem sort of synth right at the measure break back there. Now this like sweeping sound, louder and louder. Hey. Like there's like this higher version of it, and then on like every other, I think there's like this shadow or like echo version of it, like deeper. It's like very low acid boil. All sorts of noises from the techno factory. Oh, hey. Burning hot and gritty now. But all those little percussion rhythms, both in isolation and in combination, sort of really give the texture. Twisted mental modem. Listen to the acid now. Right up into the chirping range. A liquidy sort of lash. Back down. Now just doing whatever the fuck it wants. Add to the echo. Now it's like blurry, like it's split into two, like wicked. Love that dissonant layer. It's like winding, it's very high, like floaty. There's like two, there's like the and then there's a like a longer one. The gritty texture is back. Vibing on the way out the door, like love the acid in this tune actually, even if I didn't quite remember it when I was first thinking about it. Phat's like coming in loud there. Acid now really like inward chirping. Like chirping as it's closing off. Back to this groovy techno vibe. All the little percussive rhythms and flourishes we've grown accustomed to. Still got a decent amount of the ride out, like another 45 seconds, I'd say. And again, I don't mind that. Like, even if, you know, you might end up mixing out before the tune ends, it's nice to have a long off-ramp. It's nice to have options. And again, there's enough going on still. those percussive rhythms, that like demented modem, you'd still be mixing out, and like, you know, the substance of the transition would still be worth staying around for. It's like that distant layer, it's like dragging across the floor a little bit. Amazing. Like I said, I love this tune as much as the Meester tune, even if it's a different flavor. Yeah, now we're close. Another 20 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. Maybe not even that. Yeah, big fan. As I said, not the tune I bought the record for, but as good as the one I did. It's funny, you know, there's obviously, I know so much of Henry's work during the old school days, especially under the Dave the Drummer mode, but of course the collaborations, you know, the Magnum Force, the, you know, Dynamo City and so on. But I don't, or Magnum Force, am I getting that right? I hope I'm not getting that wrong. I'm suddenly, like, I lost confidence that he's part of that, but I'm pretty sure he is. Let me just make sure I'm not insane. Yeah, so it is, okay, right, it's Henry and Dave LaLouche, aka DDR. Just wanted to make sure. But yeah, it's funny, like, his tunes, Henry, or Dave the Drummer, his tunes, like, I don't know, after like 05 or 06, because I'm remembering the remix of Found What We're Looking For, I think that's 05. But his tunes over the next 7 or 8 years after that, I didn't know as closely, I didn't follow as closely. I think part of it is because he was doing a lot of techno that was not so much in the acid-techno vein. But it's interesting because, like, when I discover some of these tunes during that era, they really are great as well. So shout out to Henry. Yeah, let me know if you were fond of this record. Big ups to Jack Wax for the label. Again, big ups to the way he sort of goes the extra mile in terms of the really quality sleeves, the, you know, the colored vinyl and so on. Really appreciate it. I know, like, he's involved, like, with the distribution for, like, not just his label but others as well. So yeah, shout out to him. Let me know if you want to hear another track from Flatlife. I have most of the catalog after the Wax Is All. There might be one or two that I'm missing, but again, most of the ones after Wax Is All I have. So let me know if there's one you want to hear. Let me know if there's any other acid techno that you're keen to see a reaction to. I really do appreciate the people commenting and also just watching and listening. I'm really happy to have my old channel back again, and, you know, the content will keep coming, so hopefully you're here for it. Anyway, have a good day, have a good night. I'll see you next time. Peace.